Party of Alberta has finally picked a new leader.
International Francophone Day took place at the Alberta Legislature.
The women's Ooks basketball team hosted nationals at NAIT. Welcome to Second Edition News. Post-secondary students in Alberta will have another year with no tuition increase.
That is right, Keegan. The province announced a tuition freeze in its 2017 budget. For the third year in a row, the government is not changing tuition. Students are happy about the freeze, but some say that the government could do a little more to help students.
I wish it's actually like Alberta budget gives more money for the students, so they can have like something to back them up with their loans and help them at school, you know.
The province also announced that Alberta's universities and colleges will get about a 2% boost in basic funding.
There's a new face at the legislature this week as the Alberta PC party now has a new leader. It is at the provincial legislature building that newly elected PC leader Jason Kenney is looking to make an impact. The 48-year-old won with 75% of the votes in last Saturday's convention. And talking to some in the provincial capital, many seemed on board with the vote.
His platforms seem good. I mean, PC, I've always been a PC man, and yeah.
Kenney, who was elected on a Unite the Right platform, met with the PC Board of Directors Sunday morning to talk about their future steps.
For the second time in a month, the suicide prevention barriers on the high-level bridge have been vandalized. The high-level bridge was originally vandalized back in February as 6 cables were cut, leaving a large gap in the barrier. Mesh was put up to cover the gap, but it was sliced open last week, leaving a hole once again. The mesh has since been replaced as crews still wait for new parts to come in.
Students at the U of A have a bright new spot to sit as the new friendship benches were unveiled on Monday. The goal of the friendship benches are to encourage students and other members of the U of A community to take the time to safely talk about their mental health with their peers. Sam Fiorella founded the Friendship Bench organization after he lost his son to mental illness and hopes that more people will speak up about their mental health.
We were shocked by the sheer number of kids that remain silent even though they're secretly suffering. And so this program was started to try and encourage more peer-to-peer conversation among students so that they will feel more empowered to then go ahead and speak to their parents or professionals and get the help that they need.
Many people came out to take pictures on the bench, including Fiorella, who hopes to have friendship benches put in every post-secondary school in Canada. As the semester enters its last few weeks here at NAIT, students' stress levels are at an all-time high.
With finals fast approaching, the NAIT Students Association hopes to ease that stress by adding some color to students' lives. Tori Madu has more.
Students at NAIT are beginning to feel the familiar crunch that comes with the end of the semester. This past Monday, the NAIT Students Association hosted a free paint night, which gave students the opportunity to forget about studying for a few hours. Event coordinator Rochelle Eklund says thanks to a mental health grant from the government, events like these are possible.
We pair it with a lot of music or poetry. We did a meditation session once. It's just for students to come and give a little bit of release, like an artistic release or listening to music, just to let the stress go for a few hours.
Despite various events put on by NAITSA and available counseling services, some students feel like there isn't enough support for those struggling with stress, anxiety, and other mental health issues.
I feel like they are saying that it's everywhere, but I haven't actually seen it. Like, I haven't really tried to sort it out, but it's definitely not readily available as they're claiming it to be, I feel.
Eklund disagrees and has received good reviews about the events.
We've got awesome feedback from it. There's a lot of people that come every time, and they say it's really good at helping them get rid of their stress or like just stop thinking about stuff for a couple hours.
Nights like these allow the NAIT community to come together and socialize, creating art in a relaxing atmosphere while enjoying music or poetry. This is the 4th event that NAITSA has put on through Art After Dark. You can find all of NAITSA's events on the NAITSA website.
Tori Madu, Second Edition News.
Come spring, one more flag will be flapping in the wind at City Hall. Edmonton City Council announced after meetings Tuesday that they will make the change to fly the Treaty 6 flag and Métis flag year-round. Currently, the city flies both flags for 1 week throughout the year. Councillor Mike Walters calls the flag a powerful symbol.
A very special ceremony took place on Monday as the date marked an important day, especially in our bilingual country. Hundreds of people gathered at the provincial legislature on Monday, March 20th to celebrate the Day of the Francophone. Canada, being officially recognized as bilingual, recognizes the day annually to ensure that the Francophone way of life remains a vibrant and meaningful part of the future.
Today we join more than 50 countries around the world in marking International Francophone Day, a day that serves to promote not only the French language, but the diversity of French cultural expression and its unique contributions to our province.
The day was celebrated with music, tours, and speeches from prominent officials.
Well, Navi, I'm very excited to know what's been going on in sports lately.
Yeah, how did our NAIT women's basketball team do at Nationals this weekend?
Well, Keegan, our women Ooks basketball team didn't fare so well, but it was an exciting weekend in sports nonetheless. What a great start to sports this past weekend as NAIT hosts this year's CCAA Women's Basketball Championships. NAIT Ooks women's basketball team started on Thursday night with a full crowd and a great win against the Humber Hawks, 55-52. During the semifinals, the Ooks fell behind against the Dawson Blues, 68-52. They won the semifinals bronze medal on Saturday against the Douglas Royals, 52-52. And with only 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining, Jordan Ann's sixth final shot, giving the Ooks a 54-52 win. Unfortunately, they fell short in the bronze medal rematch against the Humber Hawks, losing 72-48, coming in fourth in the country. Big crowds on hand this weekend for some ACAC hockey finals. The NAIT men's hockey team has won the league title for the past 3 years and was looking strong going into the finals against MacEwan University. You want to talk about nail-biters? This series has it all. The ACAC Championship Series started Friday night here at NAIT, Ooks against the Grant MacEwan Griffins. After a 0-0 period in the first, the Griffins come out strong in the second with a goal on the power play by Tyler Benn. The Griffins keep up the pressure as Dallas Smith scores just minutes later to make it 2-0. For Grant MacEwan, but NAIT isn't ready to give up as Wyatt Noski hits it home on the power play, bringing the Ooks within 1. The Ooks' Jared Hopman scores from the point to tie the game at 2. With the game still undecided after 3, it would go into overtime. The Grant MacEwan Griffins scored shorthanded to take Game 1. Game 2 was all Ooks winning 4-1, forcing a Game 3. The Ooks gave up a 3-1 lead and the game ended up going into overtime, where the Ooks ended up losing the championship with a final score of 4-3. A sold-out crowd for the final game of the season for Edmonton Oil Kings. With no playoffs this season, it was a last chance to finish a lost campaign on a high note. The team was in action Sunday afternoon as they took on the Red Deer Rebels at Rogers Place. Ethan Kapp scores his first WHL goal short-handed, assisted by Davis Coach. Later throughout second period, Oil Kings' Colton Keeler, number 23, received penalty for boarding for 2 minutes, served by Liam Keeler, while Red Deer Rebels' Jared Frederick, number 27, received penalty for roughing. And what a goal by Tyson Greniger, giving the Oil Kings to a 2-0 bulge in the second period. Evan Boley scores just minutes later in the second period for the Red Deer Rebels, cutting the lead in half. The barrage continued into the third period with Red Deer tying things up at a 4. It had to go to OT, where the Kings sent their fans home, at least the ones who stuck around after the Rebels' comeback, with an end-of-season victory to savor your final 5-4 Oil Kings. You likely never thought that when growing up, those junior high dodgeball games could get you an international medal. Well, you were wrong. Some of Edmonton's best dodgeball players took a shot at earning a spot in Canada's national championship. Teams of 8 members showed up this past weekend to showcase their talent, with hopes of qualifying for the national championship. The teams are evaluated not only on their throwing and dodging abilities, but also on how their team displays fair play, teamwork, and communication.
There isn't a lot of literature or history, you didn't play on a high school varsity dodgeball team ever. So you're kind of making things up, and we're really trailblazers in terms of what the game's becoming.
The qualifying teams will compete in nationals, which take place April 22nd and 23rd in Halifax.
Well, I can't believe how much dodgeball has evolved over the years.
I remember playing dodgeball back in junior high.
Well, believe it or not, it's become an actual sport in the national levels.
That's all for Second Edition News.
Thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome to Cooking with Ernest. I'm Kennedy Schmidt and I'm joined with Chef Ben Weeks today. Now Chef, I was wondering if you could help me out with something. I love sweets, but as a student I never have enough time to bake. So I was wondering if you could show me a recipe that wouldn't take that much time.
Sure, today we're actually going to be doing a no-bake peanut butter fudge.
Awesome.
So basically I just have a little bit of peanut butter and some butter melting over here on top of what we call water bath. So basically it's just a pot filled with water and then you put your bowl on top of it just to prevent burning.
Okay, and so why would you do that opposed to just sticking it in the microwave?
With the amount of sugar that's in the peanut butter, if you put it in the microwave, you have a very high chance of burning it. While this way, because it's heated so slowly, it's a very low chance.
Okay, I see. And so for how long do you do that and what do you want to look for to make sure it's done?
Once you can see that it's all combined, all your peanut butter and your butter, then you're good to go.
Perfect.
So we're going to put this right into our icing sugar here.
Okay, so I hear people call it icing sugar, confectioner's sugar. What is the right term for that?
There's actually no difference between the two.
Okay.
The exact same thing, yeah. You can also be called powdered sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we do have a lot of unhealthy ingredients in this recipe today. Is there any tips that you have to maybe make it a little bit healthier, if that's even possible?
The only option I can really suggest would be using something like an almond butter as opposed to peanut butter. It does have a little bit less sugar. You can also use an all-natural peanut butter. In that case, you have to make sure all your oil is off of it, because your oil will just start to separate and your fudge just won't turn out at all.
Oh, okay, I see.
All right, so now that you see it's pretty much combined here, I'm going to add in some vanilla extract. That's 1 teaspoon.
Okay.
And some chocolate chips just for a little extra sweetness.
Awesome. And so with this being a no-bake fudge, what's the real difference between no-bake and then a fudge that you would put in the oven?
Basically, it's just your set time. So basically, with your baked fudge, when you put it into here and then into your fridge, it's going to take an extra couple hours just because it has to cool down from the oven and then set. Okay. With this, because it's already cool, it can just set right away.
Awesome. Well, this looks really great. I'm very looking forward to trying it out. If you want to check out this recipe, head to natenewswatch.ca, click on the Second Edition tab, and you can find it there. Thanks so much for joining us.